The night she cried, I didn't touch her. She sat at the edge of our bed, shoulders trembling. Fingers twisting the hem of a sweater I didn't recognize. Soft, expensive, new. I felt abandoned, she whispered. I'd been home for 6 days. 6 days since I walked through the front door after 14 months overseas. 6 days of stiff hugs. 6 days of careful smiles. 6 days of her flinching when my hand brushed her waist. Now tears. I was lonely, she said, staring at the carpet instead of me. The words hung there. Not a confession, not yet. Just a rehearsal. I stood by the window, watching her reflection in the glass instead of her face. Soldiers learn to read movement before words, micro-hesitations, false tremors, delayed breathing. Her crying was precise, measured, too clean. I didn't ask who he was. I didn't ask if there was a he. I only nodded once, and in that moment something inside me went quiet. Not rage, not heartbreak, calculation. Because loneliness doesn't buy designer sweaters, and guilt doesn't smell like unfamiliar cologne in your own bedroom. She said it happened after the long nights, after the silence, after the weight of missing me became unbearable. That's what she wanted me to believe. Her timeline was neat, safe, convenient, but I had already noticed the changes before deployment. The guarded phone, the new password, the gym membership she never used before. 5 months before I left, she stopped reaching for my hand in public. 3 months before I left, she started sleeping on the far edge of the mattress. 1 month before I left, she deleted our anniversary photos from her social media. I told myself it was stress, fear of separation, anxiety. That's what love does. It protects the illusion. But when I came home, the house felt rearranged. Not physically, energetically, like I was a guest who had overstayed. She watched me like I was unpredictable, dangerous, temporary. And then the tears came. I never meant for it to happen. There it was. A fracture in the script. I looked at her. Truly looked. And saw something worse than guilt. Relief. She wanted forgiveness. Permission to keep what she had already built. I didn't yell. Didn't ask questions. Didn't accuse. I kissed her forehead and told her we would talk later. Then I went downstairs and began dismantling her lie, piece by piece. War teaches patience, surveillance, timing. I didn't check her phone. I checked the phone bill. 5 months before deployment. There it was. A number repeated like a heartbeat. Daily. Late nights. Early mornings. I saved it. Then I requested archived cloud data. Old photos. Metadata never lies. A restaurant receipt. 2 wine glasses. Time-stamped in March. I was still home in March. A hotel booking in April. Paid with her personal card. I was mowing the lawn that afternoon. In May, a spa weekend. She had told me she was visiting her sister. Her sister lives 3 hours away. The spa was 20 minutes from here. The affair hadn't grown from loneliness. It had grown from opportunity. I ran a quiet background check on the number. Married. 2 kids. Real estate broker. Predictable. Careless. Men like him believe they are discreet. They forget patterns leave footprints. I behaved normally. Cooked dinner. Smiled at neighbors. Kissed her goodnight. Inside I was ice. I transferred half our joint savings into an account in my name. Legally permissible. I consulted a lawyer without telling her. Prepared documents. Gathered evidence. Screenshots. Bank statements. Dates. Proof. Then I waited. Because timing isn't about speed, it's about impact. The DNA test wasn't for our son. It was for doubt. Not paternity. Chronology. I needed confirmation of when the hotel receipts aligned with her ovulation cycle. 5 months before deployment. Exactly 5. The night she later claimed she was overwhelmed and stayed with her sister. I laid the printed records on the kitchen table one evening. No shouting. No drama. She walked in, saw the papers, and froze. What is this? I didn't answer. I simply tapped the March receipt. Then the April hotel. Then the phone logs. Her lips parted. Color drained. I was lonely, she tried again. In March? I asked quietly. Silence. You mean while I was still here? Her breathing fractured. It just happened. No, it was scheduled. Planned. Repeated. Her tears returned. Messier now. Real. But too late. You said it started after I left. She looked at the evidence like it was written in another language. And for the first time I saw fear. Not of losing me. Of losing what I controlled. I slid the divorce papers across the table. Already signed. Already filed. Her hand trembled. You're destroying our family. No, I said calmly. You did. 5 months before deployment, I informed her that the evidence had been shared with my attorney and, discreetly, with her lover's wife. Truth spreads quietly when placed correctly. I had also secured our assets. The house would be sold. Proceeds divided according to documented infidelity clauses. She hadn't read the fine print when we married. I had. Her phone began vibrating that night. Once, twice, 10 times. I imagined his panic as his wife confronted him. I imagined the unraveling. Strategic, precise. No yelling. No fists. Just exposure. She tried one last time. We can fix this. I stood. There was nothing to fix. Only something to uncover. And then I walked out, not in anger, in completion. Months later, my phone rang 71 times in one afternoon. Not from her. From my daughter-in-law. If you want to join Thanksgiving, she had once shouted over the phone, come wash the dishes. I had replied, enjoy. That was before they learned the settlement details. Before the villa. Switzerland. Quiet mountains. Clean air. Earned investments. Not stolen loyalty. Photos circulate faster than gossip. Luxury reveals truth people pretend not to value. 71 calls. I didn't answer. Greed recognizes power, and power when calm is terrifying. I crushed nothing violently. I simply removed myself. Let their expectations starve. The woman who said she felt abandoned now lives in the echo of her own choices. And I live somewhere colder, cleaner, detached. War taught me how to survive. She taught me how to detach. Now I trust evidence, not tears. And I never come home unprepared again.